All right, good morning, Cold Steel Nation, and also YouTube. So, I'm a big fan of Cold Steel, and as you know, about a year ago, Cold Steel sold to GSM, and it appears that today was a release of the 2020. Excuse me, I'm still stuck in 2020 because of COVID. The 2022 new product lineup for GSM / Cold Steel. And so what I want to do with this video is just kind of give you my general impressions of the line. Cold Steel Nation is just exploding in reaction right now, and as we look at this line together, I think you'll really understand that reaction. So the first thing that I want to look at is just the three-bladed Ranch Boss. It's not really my thing. The original Ranch Boss wasn't my thing, but you know, there it is. It's not too bad. It has a sheep's foot, clip point, and a spade blade. The next thing is the 3-in-1 knife sharpener. I believe AccuSharp and other places in Academy have sold this exact same thing, and it just looks like Cold Steel GSM just put their logo on it. So, you know, that's not really cool. The next thing that you're going to see a lot of in this line is this Drifter series. This is the 3-inch version, and I'm kind of, my reaction to this, it's not really good, but it's not really bad. Cold Steel, they've made cheaper products before, like the Cold Steel Con, never really appealed to me. The Gurk, never really appealed to me either, and this just kind of seems a little bit more like that. It has this new Atlas lock, and I'm going to post a video at the end of this video of a stickman. I believe his name is Keith Bean. He's going to demo the Atlas lock, and the thing is, if you look at where the pins are placed, if you look, your finger's supposed to go in that jimping area and push it down. It looks like a variation of the Shark Lock, but here's the problem. I went to Demco and I asked them, I had a conversation with a good friend on Cold Steel Nation at first, and he said he already asked Demco, and Demco said he didn't design it. And so I went to Demco myself and I asked him as well, and he also said that he didn't design it. So that's very concerning. And when you look at this video at the end, it appears to work very similarly to the Shark Lock. And in that video, Keith actually says that it's stronger than the Demco lock. So I'm assuming he's referring to the Triad lock there. I love my new Shark Lock, this Demco 8020.5. It's very smooth, except when you're trying to make a video. There we go. It's very smooth, works well, but I don't really think it's as strong as the Triad lock. So I doubt that these new Atlas locks are as strong as the Triad. So here's a Drifter 3. It's going to be a premium blade, the S35VN. The 8010 Light with a Tanto, so that's really cool. I'm not so big into Tantos. I kind of like Tanto fixed blades, but not so much for folders. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be really happy about the 8010 coming out in a Tanto, even though it's the 8010 Light. Also the 8010 just getting that cheaper option of AUS 10A steel. I don't really see any problems with this, and I don't think most of Cold Steel fan base is really worried about something like that. Okay, so this Axis Machete, this looks like Gerber. It looks like garbage. The handle, the sawback, I mean, it looks like Fiskars or Gerber just makes this. And I have nothing against Fiskars, especially their hatchets, but Gerber, I mean, it looks just like it, and that's very, very disappointing. So you're going to see a lot of swords, and this just seems like classic Lynn Thompson Cold Steel. This is the Chinese leaf sword. There's going to be another one where it looks like they use the same image twice, and so I'm not sure if that's going to actually be the Chinese leaf sword, because again, they're going to use this image twice. Looks fine. Chinese mace. I'm not really into maces, but hey, this looks great. I really like to see this come out. The Chinese Saber looks cool. I'm into that. So the Chinese two-collar Sea Wave. Okay, that looks like the same image as the Chinese Leaf Gem. So I'm sure the image was used twice, and so one of those things is not the actual product. This was supposed to come out this year. This is the click and cut folder with the Triad lock. Not my thing, but I'm okay with it. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, I'm not really into disposable blades, but maybe some people are. This is called the Click and Cut Hunting Kit. So what this looks like is the Ultimate Hunter or Pendleton Hunter, and instead of making it a folder, it's like a Triad kind of multiple fixed blade option where you can exchange the blades. And so, in my opinion, I would just rather have 5 or 6 different knives, okay? But this sort of product doesn't really bother me. Again, it's just not really my thing. But I can see with GSM Outdoors really being more about hunting and all that sort of thing, how that would be appropriate for them. And in my opinion, it doesn't really look like crap. So, especially, that blade's pretty cool. That little fillet sort of blade. And maybe even the gut hook blade, that looks kind of neat as well. But it's just not really what I'm into. I'd rather have 5 or 6 different knives. So this is the 2.5 Drifter. Doesn't look good to me. This is going to be the 3.5 Drifter, and I think this is going to be one of their premium blades. This is going to be the blade that's in the video at the end. I don't really like the way the handle's made. It looks like the grind is executed well. And somebody else pointed this out. Look where the logos are at. Used to, the logos were on the other side of the blade. So used to, the Drifter would be on the show side, and then Cold Steel would be on the non-show side of the blade. So I don't know why they're doing that. And maybe in the final production they won't come out like that. But, you know, if you have on your... I'll show you real quick. So this is the show side of the blade. That's a Voyager. Okay, then on the non-presentation side of the blade, you have Cold Steel. That's how it's always been. That makes a lot of sense, but for some reason, with just these initial posts, the logo appears to be on the wrong side of the blade. So this is the Drifter 3 in AUS 10. Does not look good to me. This is the Diamond Whetstone Sharpener dual thing. I mean, I know GSM is a huge company and they got their hand in a lot of different stuff, but in my opinion, just let Worksharp and Spyderco do the sharpening stuff. You know, Cold Steel, you don't need to make sharpening stuff. GSM, you don't need to make sharpening stuff. This is absolutely horrendous. The dual edge pocket sharpener. These things, no matter whose name is put on them, will ruin your edge every time. So that is one of the saddest things in the world, is to see a Cold Steel logo on this style of carbide sharpener. And if you look down here, it says not suitable for sharpening scissors or serrated knives. I just think it needs to say not suitable for sharpening, and then they just need to have a little period right there, because those things are absolutely the worst. You'd literally be better off finding a piece of concrete or 2 bricks, rub the 2 bricks together, get all the rough spots off of it, and use that brick as kind of like a makeshift whetstone. But those are absolutely horrible. The fixed blade hunting kit just looks like everything that Outdoor Edge puts out. So I'm not against Outdoor Edge. I just, I find it odd that Cold Steel would do this. But hey, remember that Ultimate Hunter trading thing, the little Triad lock thing? Here we have the different blade shapes. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the different blade shapes with all the different knives. I would rather have something like this than exchange all the blades and all that. And it does look like it's going to be the handle of the Ultimate Hunter. So it does look a little bit outdoor edgy, but because of the handle, It looks like the ultimate hunter handle. I can dig it. I could even see myself getting into that depending on what steel we're talking about. That might not be too bad. Okay, so when I first saw it, I didn't know what the handle looked like, but now that I can zoom in on the handle, I think that's going to be okay. So I am more or less okay with that. Instead of the case, I wish it came with like different sheaths. So that is because it's some type of EPA foam liner, and depending on what type of foam that is, I mean, if you got a bloody knife and you put it back in the case and then you go home and wash the knife, well, guess what? Your your case is going to be all bloody and rotten and everything. So flower katana, again, classic cold steel. Okay, so the gentleman's stockman knives. If you look at the grinds and the nail neck, these look exactly like a Rough Rider stockman. I don't have anything against Rough Riders. I like Rough Riders. I have had Rough Riders that come with a better edge and they're better fitted than case knives. And I generally like case slip joints. Not GSM, excuse me, GEC is going to do way better slip joints and all that. It just doesn't look like cold steel to me. And in my opinion, if you're just going to take a Rough Rider knife and then slap a cold steel logo on it, I'd just rather have the Rough Rider. But whatever. So load more. Okay. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but that is some sort of German Messer sword. I think that's awesome. Again, classic cold steel. A Kriya sword and dagger set. Again, these are probably going to be Indian made. Again, classic cold steel. I don't know if I necessarily want them. The points don't look all that sharp. But then again, if you look at a lot of classic cold steel stuff, the points aren't really all that sharp. I mean, excuse me, classic Kriya blades, the points aren't all that sharp either. The Leatherneck Buoy. I'm really excited about this one right here. It's going to be a 10.5-inch blade, D2 steel, really good looking guard. It doesn't really look like a classic buoy, like the handle per se, but it looks like one heck of a buoy, and really tough, really strong, and man, it looks like they should have came out with this years ago. Then we have the Lynn Thompson Leatherneck Buoy. Same thing, just different colors with Lynn Thompson signature on it. And then we have the Lynn Thompson Spartan signature series. First off, the handle looks like garbage. I hope, let's see, they don't say, in fact, those specs are wrong right there. I hope whatever handle they put out on this does not look like that. That looks like total garbage. It looks like they just got a Dremel and just randomly like dug into it. And it just looks like if they're going to change the handle, it looks like they just need to make it green like all the other Lynn Thompson signature stuff and not mess with the texture. The next thing is that we have a full flat grind, and we also, the serrations don't look like cold steel serrations. And so it looks like it also has a false edge as well. So as it stands right now, if that's the thing that's going to come out in production, it looks like a monstrosity. I don't like it, but if they just keep the normal handle, if the serrations come out okay, those, I don't know what those serrations are going to be like. Maybe it might have a chance. The Mayhem, so this is going to feature the Atlas lock. This is apparently going to be a 6-inch blade, and so this automatically has my interest. It's going to be a modified cleaver, so it looks like a cleaver with a point. Looks like it's probably going to be a pretty heavy duty knife. I'm willing to give this a chance. You know, I'm all into the mega folders and all that, so I think that's probably going to be okay. Again, the logo, I don't know why they put the logo on that side. Next thing, more Rough Rider series. One edge Viking sword, that's okay. The Ranch Hand, again, not really my thing, but you know, that's cool. The Razorback series looks like something that Charade came out with. So, not really digging that at all. The jimping looks horrible. The handles have a cool texture. Just the shape of the blade and just, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could work if there were some modifications, but it just doesn't really look all that great. The next thing is going to be the Roman Gladius. I like that. I could actually see myself in the future, if I got a reasonable price for one, maybe getting that. Okay, so this thing is going to be the Serrated Spartan, and again, it has the false edge. It has a full flat grind. The handle looks okay. I don't know why they chose to go with a full flat grind here. It kind of makes it look like a clone. They have the logo on the proper side. Maybe one reason, I'm a person that actually puts on serrations on knives, and if you get something that's super thinly hollow grind, it can actually be very difficult to put on serrations, and so maybe that's why they chose to go with that full flat grind. But that's going to be okay, but just the full flat grind, in my opinion, kind of makes it look like a clone. It kind of makes it look like it was, not made in the factory that it should have been, or maybe the same factory. I don't know how all that clone stuff works. Small sword, I like my small sword, so that's probably not going to be bad. The Stylus Knife Sharpener, okay, looks like they should have made it about 5 inches longer than that. That little bitty, at least 3 more inches longer than that. That just doesn't give you a whole lot to work with. In my opinion, Cold Steel GSM, they just need to give up on sharpening stuff. Stick with Work Sharp, Spyderco. They're masters at it. The Tack High Katana. It looks like it's some forged blade. Looks just fine. Trapper Series, more Rough Rider. I could actually, if these were at a reasonable price, I could see myself getting one of those. But it's just weird. It's just like, why? I mean, you could just go get you a Rough Rider, and I don't have anything against Rough Riders, and when I say that, I'm not saying anything bad about Rough Riders, but why do you put your name? The Verdict series. So, this looks like, in my opinion, like it's not a horrible design, but it's like, it's a Triad lock, so it has something going for it. The blade shapes aren't all that bad, but the handles, they just look a little bit like Walmart knife. It might not be a horrible blade, but the appearance of it. And so this is going to be AUS 10A, and then you're going to notice that they're going to come out with a 4041 series stainless steel version of the same blade. And so, it's like, which one's the budget one and which one's not the budget one, So these, I guess, look like they're going to be more of the budget style with the stonewash and all that, but it seems like it would have been a smarter idea is to go one way or the other. And then finally, that's going to be it. So overall, like, I'm a little disappointed because things are not looking right, but there still are some products that I think I'm going to give a chance. So thank you for watching, and now I'm going to show you the video with Keith Bean at the ATA show 2022.
Hey everyone, I'm at the GSM booth at ATA, and we're with Keith, aka Stickman, and he's going to tell us about the new knife that's coming out mid-year.
All right, this is the Drifter right here. This is a folding lock knife, but what is really cool about this, it has our new Atlas lock system. We've had the Demco lock system before, and that'll hold like 700-800 pounds up when you lay that off of there. This unit here is actually stronger. Now this unit has the S35EM, great steel on it. It is a 3-inch model. We've got it in a 3.5, we've got it in 2.5. We've got the G10 ambidextrous clip. It's probably going to be one of the best folding knives ever introduced in the world. So we probably should get you one.
Yes.
There you go, right there. Be careful, this is live.
Feels great and is really heavy duty. And thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. Hey everyone, I'm at the